Hi everyone. Well, as most of you know, today, due to the big storm, class got cancelled because all the schools on the island are cancelled. But that's not going to stop me from teaching you. So through the power of YouTube, I'm going to do a video answering your questions for this week. If this works well, I might do a couple more. I might expand on a couple because some of these could very well have their own video. So I guess I'll start with just from the list, average settings for manual. I work with pretty much a rule of thumb. Average settings for manual are 100 ISO at shutter speed of 125. Also, excuse my voice, I'm a little congested today. And your f-stop is determined, this is for outdoor shooting, by the weather. So if it's an overcast day, you're working at 5.6, maybe f8. Partially cloudy day, f11. Then really sunny day, f16. There are very rare occasions, we might live to see a few, where it's going to be higher than f16 at 100 ISO outside. For indoors, it's a lot more complex. Normally I say 800 ISO, a 60th, and your f-stop can be so off because of lighting, like fluorescent. They all emit a different light. Incandescent's more or less consistent around f4, 5.6. Other than that, light deeply varies indoors. It all depends. And for flash settings, it's all in how you set your flash, not how you set your settings, because you set your flash to your settings. There are a few weird ones that do it the other way, but both work. Portrait tips. Yeah, this could be a whole video in and of itself. Rule of thumb, shoot from above, you're more flattering. This is a bad example. I'm using my built-in webcam. So yeah, you see up the nostrils and all that. But immediately, more flattering. So, there's my point there. Sorry about this. It's kind of the best idea I had last minute. Shooting from above is always more flattering. Normally, if you don't have studio lighting, I highly recommend shooting outside. There's a lot more natural light to work with. If you have a reflector, it's great for redirecting sunlight to the face. Here's the key to any portrait, is the eyes must be in focus and they must have catch lights. If you have catch lights, it's the window to the soul. It livens up the eyes, and if you don't have it, the image looks dark and cold. As I referred to in our class of rules of thirds, the eyes hit 2 points in a rule of thirds for a portrait, normally, but an eye is always in the rule of thirds, because that, when looking at a person, is the first thing you go to. So make sure your eyes are lit. Reflectors are great, and if you're shooting a head portrait, it's just really simple to have them hold a reflector just below what the camera sees to force light up. If you don't have a reflector, there's a lot of great alternatives. Tinfoil works really good. Certain metallic wrapping papers are really handy. And if you can get them in metallic colors, you can get really cool effects. A mirror. Mirror is really good. I'm just writing these off the top of my head. Another great one is, and if you want a big reflector, this works really great, is a space blanket. They're like $1. They are great to have in any emergency. See, because if you're out shooting in the elements, you pull one out and you cover your gear. There, if you need a reflector, you can hang one up and it's a big reflector. So a lot of things that can reflect light, that are reflective, will work really good. Good for do-it-yourself reflector. If you're going to light a portrait indoors, or have a main light to one side that's going to be really strong, again predominant, and one that is not quite as equal value. So say shooting with 2 lamps, same height, they're identical. One has a lamp shade, one doesn't. They're producing the exact same light, just one's a little more diffused, one's a lot harder. And it should light the face a little better. And with that as a starting basis, adjust the height of the lights to get a better effect. Posing. My rules for posing are the same as rules of composition. The eye likes triangles and circles. My reminder is aim more for a round shape because we are not stick people. Well, humans have curves, not angles. Yeah, I can just see I just argued with someone there. Other than that, like, I can cover this better in class, but I might actually just record a portrait shoot and just go over some basics. I might just put it up there and shoot that this weekend. And alright, next step is landscape. Landscapes are unbelievably fun to shoot and always good. My recommendation is always keep your rule of thirds in mind. And I could explain the rule of fourths to you, but it literally makes my head hurt because the rules are a lot more specific and it's works the same as the rule of thirds in basics. If you know the rule of thirds, you're golden. Rule of fourths is just people wanting to be more complex. So normally you want to have your horizon hit your top third or your bottom third. If it hits your top third, what you want in your intersecting lines is either something on this side. Oh god, the video is reversed. That's why I'm screwing up. You want something on this side to draw your attention, or this side to draw your attention. So there is something in there. Another great thing to consider in landscapes is how to guide your eye. Trails, tree lines, rivers, ponds. These all create great guides for the lines. Water naturally will draw us to a center point, which is really neat. Like even calm water, you're naturally going to look towards the center of it. So it creates a nice straight line. runs normally make on beaches normally make really nice S curves. There's a few streets in Charlottetown that actually make nice S curves. But it's basically an S curve is exactly what it's is. It's an S, and your eye will follow it to a central point. A lot of landscapes don't have the sun in them. Normally, the reason is the sun is bright. It will create lens flare over and under exposure. It's a real headache. So normally the best time if you want the sun in your shot is either sunrise or sunset. And it's never your focal point. It's off to the side so it does not distract the eye, because if you have the sun in your photo, it's the brightest object. Your eye will be drawn to it no matter what. Let's see here. What other questions do I got? I'm on Facebook. Different lenses. So I know you guys have seen my camera bag. I have 4 lenses. 2 of them are very similar. My lenses, just to rhyme them off, are a 1.8 50mm Canon L series. It was a prototype. 75 to 300 millimeter, and I believe that goes down to f4 if I'm lucky. My f4 Canon 24 to 85, and my f2.8 Tamron 24 to 75. In the work I do, my main lens of choice is my Tamron. It's nice, it's sharp, it's a really fun lens to work with. But that's what I do for work. It's kind of the same as a kit lens for you guys. It's just a little more versatile. My recommendation is I have 3 lenses I say every photographer should have. Your kit lens is a good start. Alright, now I'll get into upgrading the kit lens after I explain the other 2 lenses. The next lens you should have is a telephoto. A telephoto lens, like the 75 to 300, is a nice versatile lens. It gives you capabilities to shoot from distance, so you can catch that photo of the bird in the tree 200 yards away, or shoot from the sidelines of your kid's sports game. It's a really nice lens to have. The next lens I recommend is a fixed focus lens. The 50mm is the best there is. So it is great for just getting in close to certain things, but it's perfect for taking pictures of people. So group shots,